Now, Tetris has long been touted as a video game that just can't be beaten because it just goes on and on.
Oh my God!
Well, 13-year-old American Willis Gibson has technically proven that wrong. He beat the original Nintendo version of the game by reaching such a high level that the coding froze. That left the program unable to generate any more falling blocks. As a mother, I would just say step away from the screen, go outside, get some fresh air. Beating Tetris is not a life goal.
We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
He's the only human being to beat that game. I mean, that is impressive, especially at his age. And this woman's comments to this kid's accomplishment, the internet took revenge. And even the mother responded by saying, he doesn't stay in his room 24/7, he still goes out like other kids, I fully support him. That's nice to hear from the mother. And she picked on the wrong nerd, because he said, I've accomplished more in 13 years than you have in 75 years of existence. She's got to remember he's the only human being who's ever beaten that game. And that is an old game. So he's done something no other human's done. That in itself is an accomplishment. Don't get me wrong, if this guy was still sat around in his 40s playing this game day in, day out, then I could probably agree with that comment a bit more. But she's just a hater, man. But let me know what you think.
A lot of girls say body count doesn't matter until you ask them what their body count is, and then all you hear is crickets.
But why does that matter to you?
Because men don't want a woman that's been run through. In order for me to sleep with 10 high quality women, I need to have something about me. I need to have money. I need to have status. I need to have something. In order for you to sleep with 10 men, all you have to do is say sleep with me. And that's the difference. Men control access to relationships. Women control access to their body, right? And sex, right? So in order for you to get men, all you have to do is just open your legs. And we have to have some value to it.
Yes, a prenup is the best decision you can do. Protect yourself. Wow, she's saying a prenup is for a divorce, not for a marriage? Because it's the smartest thing you can do.
Why do you have this?
Because if it doesn't work out, you're going to take all his stuff.
Prenup. That's what you do when you get married.
Exactly.
A prenup is for when you get divorced, and not for when you get married.
Wow.
It is assuming that we're going to
That's so wrong.
So, this means that you want us to get a divorce eventually.
Bro, you see how guilty she sounds? She clearly wants all his money. You can't trust in any of them.
She belongs to the streets.
I think we can all tell here, it's very clear that she wanted that money. And just her reaction to that alone would be enough for me to pack my bags and get the hell out of there. He should have just said sign it or I'm out. Simple as that.
How long you been together?
10 weeks.
Yeah, a few weeks. How long have you known each other?
10 weeks.
When did you make it official? I haven't had a discussion yet. So, is it open or are y'all just talking? I wouldn't say it's open.
Realistically, he can do what he wants, but my attention's on him and not on anyone else.
That's how would you feel if he slept with another chick?
But I wouldn't show it to him. Because he can do whatever, technically.
You'd still continue along with him? How would you feel if she slept with another guy? Nah, I'd be kind of pissed. Would you stick it out with her? Whoa. She's cheating on you, what? I wouldn't completely forget about it. Nah, I'd talk to her.
That is one big pile of shit.
So a few days ago, I made a video saying the things that I do for my husband that most modern women wouldn't agree with. And y'all, when I tell you the comments had me dead, the amount of people who were so flabbergasted that I consider my husband my leader and that I ask him for permission before I do certain things is honestly quite shocking. For one, I didn't understand why so many people were so pressed about a relationship that has nothing to do with them. And for two, I don't understand the fuss that a lot of women have with a woman considering the man that she married her leader. I mean, why wouldn't you marry someone whose judgment and leadership and guidance you can trust? Why is it a comical thing to respect your husband so much that to even ask permission before doing certain things just to make sure he's okay with it is something that's deemed as comical or oppressive. Like, why do y'all get so angry when you see a woman respecting her man? I mean, listen, y'all could be Miss Independent if you want to, but one thing about me, I learned from my foremother Eve. I'm not trying to be like her and disregard anything my husband says just to do my own thing. No, I'm gonna make sure my husband is okay with everything that I do. And this is my marriage, not yours. So you don't gotta be big mad in the comments because I'm chilling. I'm happy. I love my man. I'm living stress-free over here, baby.
That's what I'm talking about!
I can guarantee you half those women in the comments are just jealous, and that's how they show it. And all these women bitching and complaining, they're all gonna say, I want a man who's the leader, I want a man who's gonna have authority and take charge and protect me and, you know, have leadership qualities. But then when they see other people with the same thing, they're gonna talk shit straight away. And if they get with guys who aren't any of those things, they cheat on them. So they say one thing, but they actually think another.
So a couple of weeks ago, a guy approached me. Of course I did what all girls do. Assumed he was a sexually charged pig, screams, I have a boyfriend, before he could even get a word out, rolled my eyes, threatened to call the cops, and immediately relocated to a different spot in the coffee shop just so I could post a TikTok about it. Kidding. Here's how I actually handled it. I could sense this man's anxiety instantly, so I knew that there was romantic intent, but I entertained it how I would entertain any normal conversation. I let him introduce himself, I introduced myself, and made some brief small talk. It wasn't hard to establish very early on that I lived nearby with my boyfriend without ruining the conversation and his day. And maybe now this man won't be so nervous to approach other women. You might ask why I entertain a conversation with this guy if I have a boyfriend. Well, it's because I'm not a hypocrite. If I was single, I would hate it if women in relationships were being rude to single men because it would make them less likely to approach me. I'm not going to be part of the reason why men don't want to approach women anymore. If we want the modern dating world to change for the better, we as women have a duty to make these initial interactions that are already very intimidating for men as unintimidating as possible.
I am stepping back from doing.
Yeah. So what shifted? What changed?
Over the past few months, I've become really unhappy and regretting certain decisions that I've made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like regretting just like making that kind of content, or like just.
There's so many different factors. The first one is my parents. My parents, it took a while for them to be proud of me. They're proud of me now that I'm 24 and I'm financially stable.
Yeah.
But I don't think they like what I do, and that's like hard, not being able to talk to them about like my career.
Yeah. Did they know what you were doing before it kind of blew up? Like when it was just pocket change?
Mm-mm.
No.
My parents didn't know why I moved to LA. They thought I was just gonna model. That's what I told them. But then I think my whole family like stalks my social media and stuff, and I think my aunt one day went onto my Twitter and saw like trailers of just straight on pornos and sent it to my mom. And I remember getting a text from my mom. She was like, Skylar, you lied to me. You said you weren't getting into porn. This is not. So that was kind of awkward at first, and my dad and that whole side of the family disowned me.
It's called congratulations, you played yourself.
Now this is what happens when reality hits. And of course there's going to be simps in the comments going, oh, you know, such a sad story. Come on, man. She started doing corn, getting whacked by other guys online. Did she not think my parents were going to be disappointed in me? What's my father going to think? You know, there's no sympathy for me. She's had a choice. She's done this content for years. Hundreds of videos, hundreds of photos. She could have stopped at any point. But no, she took the bag, gave her soul away, and doing this mad behavior. Like her whole family name has been tarnished. So the father disowning her and the mum saying, you know, you're a disappointment. You kind of brought that on yourself.